This week, Mark Newell is hunting with good friend and landowner David Brown in Kentucky. This will be the 4th year Mark has hunted here for the opening week of gun season. Mark has been helping David with the management plan of this incredible farm, and they both are enjoying the results. It is filled with Tecomate food plots, big bucks, and the rut is just about to kick off. This is sure to be an exciting hunt in the Bluegrass State on this week's episode of the Bucks of Tecomate.
That is a pig. Look at this. This is a giant basic cage, just a giant. This is a good buck. Look at this thing. What a beautiful deer. Nothing trumps food when you're trying to grow big deer.
You started working with me out here about 4 years ago,
Yep.
I think it was, and
Yep.
we've seen a gradual increase in the changes that we've made and the quality of the deer that we're shooting, and we've got age structure now.
Yeah.
And, we're going to see several good 5.5, 6.5-year-old bucks next year that you've got on the Recon-X.
Essentially, this is 3 full years of management. This is 3 full years of implementing, kind of what we talked about. And, we've had to fudge it a little bit in those 3 years, but still, I know you've worked in construction a lot of times. You've had to change those plans a little bit to get that finished product the way it needs to be. And it's the same thing with the property, and that's what we've done. And I've definitely seen the difference this year for sure, no doubt, as far as what we've seen and as far as what the Recon-X cameras are showing. There's more big bucks that we've had definitely in a long time.
Right, and most importantly, like you just mentioned, early on when I first bought this farm, the biggest deer you could find on it was 120 inches.
Right.
And if you cranked a four-wheeler up, you would see them running from 200 yards away, 500 yards away, they're running.
Yeah.
But, now, just like you mentioned before, we've helped build the age class, we're getting the neighbors on board, we're getting cooperation. And we're also teaching patience to some of the guests and people that come out to hunt with us, because we do hunt the full season, and we strategically look for bucks to take out of the gene pool. We take the pictures and we have the little hit list. This is the characters and types of bucks you're looking for.
That's right.
And to let these pretty young tens and these up-and-comers, get the time to become what they're going to be.
That's right. That's right.
In any management plan, after the 3rd year is usually when you really see a property just explode, or you see these bucks explode, and that's kind of what we expected. I come out to the farm to plant our Tecomate food plots back in early September and put out a bunch of Recon-X cameras, and none of these cameras was checked until I was able to get here. So I don't know what I was more excited about, to check the cameras or to go hunting, but I knew it was going to be a special year.
All right, this should work really good right here. I like this spot. The cool thing about this cell camera, while I'm sitting in the stand, I'm going to get updated, immediate response to what's coming in here, which is really, really cool. So if we need to change spots midday or change spots for the afternoon or something, we won't have to ease in here and set the place up just to check the camera. So it's a cool thing. I look forward to seeing what I get on the Recon-X.
Woke up to a nice and cool morning. It's supposed to rain a little bit later on in the morning, but that's okay. It's not going to rain a whole lot. Hopefully this morning will be the morning. Wish us some luck. Any opening day, you're always excited and you're pumped up for that first light. And I'm telling you, this day definitely did not disappoint. Just as soon as we could see, we're starting to see bucks.
That's a good buck. Really good buck. I don't think he's quite old enough to shoot. Dang, that's a good deer, good brow tines. Really good tines.
I think right off the bat we saw a doe, and I think 4 bucks come across the field, chasing the doe. Nothing big, but it was still cool to see all that buck activity. Wasn't long after that, another buck pops out into the bean field just looking and checking for does.
Yeah, nose to the ground looking.
And then to the left, there was another buck. I'm just telling you, it was unbelievable. All the deer that was just filtering and moving through the bean field, and also into the draw, into the thick stuff. There was bucks chasing and searching and looking for does there. And I'm telling you, my head is on a swivel looking for that big shooter buck.
Just a great looking young buck. He just needs time. He just needs a couple more years at least. There's a doe right here. Looks like a big doe. Yep. Buck behind her. Man, that's a good buck. He's just standing there with that doe. Man, that is a big old body joker. Definitely a mature buck for sure right there. Seeing lots of bucks. This is the most bucks I've definitely seen in 4 years hunting this farm. And definitely a lot of good deer. Man, that first year I'd have probably had to shoot him. But that is a great buck. But we know there's better bucks here. We're seeing the exact activity we're looking for. Just hopefully the right buck will do something just like that. Oh man, that's awesome. You gotta love it.
So my typical plan for hunting this farm, and it has been for the past 2 or 3 years, is hunt the draw in the mornings and hunt the food plots and other areas in the afternoons. So since I wasn't there, David decided to hunt the draw, because we know deer always filter through there both morning and afternoon. And as soon as he got up in that Ranch King stand and gets the windows up, he sees a really big old 8-point coming through the draw.
We've got a good 8-pointer moving through the brush. He's gonna come out over here. He's coming to that lane. He just laid down. He's behind the tree.
So David watches this draw, this spot in the draw where he last saw that buck for over an hour and never sees any movement in there. He's starting to second guess that buck did leave. But it wasn't long. A doe comes through, crosses the lane into the thick stuff, headed straight for the buck, and all of a sudden he stands up.
He's following the doe out to the lane. Okay, I'm gonna take him here. Now we can finish our Christmas tree cake. Give him just a second, and then we're gonna walk over there and see what we've got. I will have to say, I think this is a great management buck. It's gonna be a good buck to have off the farm to make way for some of these new young 10-pointers that we've been seeing. So we'll celebrate with Christmas tree cake and go see what we got. Man, look at this thing. Look at this guy. This guy's got to be 6 years old. Super little brow hooks on his brow tines, nice mass. Love these old 8-pointers. And look at this. Look at the throat patch on this deer. And this guy's old. Super buck. Super happy to have this 8-pointer. A lot of good deer on the farm, but there's nothing better than finding a good old mature old deer that's been around a long time. Mark really wanted to try one of the other Tecumseh food plots, and I knew that somebody needed to be watching this draw because there would be something coming through there. And you know, I was really just kind of watching for him. But when you get an opportunity to take a nice 8-point buck like this, you just can't let it pass. And I just feel sorry for Mark because he's still sitting over there right now we haven't heard any shots, so I'm sure he's out of Christmas tree cakes and he's
wondering what we're doing over here.
We hunted the alfalfa field in one of our Ranch King blinds, and you can just see for 300, 400, 500 yards in some places in this field. And it's a place that typically fills up with deer, and that's kind of what you're looking for when you're hunting the rut. Where there's does, there's going to be bucks. So we went to the alfalfa field, and I'm telling you, it didn't disappoint. It filled up with does coming out of every corner of that field. And it wasn't long, we started seeing bucks piling out, checking those does, even chasing those does, which is always fun to watch. We didn't see a shooter buck, but we had a great afternoon hunt. Well, we woke up this morning here in Kentucky to a downpour. We got up at about 4:30 this morning, and I'm gonna tell you, the rain was evermore coming down. We expected a little bit of rain, but we definitely didn't expect this much rain. So, you know, hey, we're hunting. We have a nice dry Ranch King to sit in. We're gonna get after it. You can't kill him sitting at the house, so we finna go get in the blind, see if we can find a big old buck. Wish us some luck. So it wasn't long after we got in the stand, we immediately started seeing deer, and which is typical for hunting the draw. Again, it's why we love to hunt there. We're always seeing deer moving in and out of the draw in the soybeans, but also in the thick part. And that's where I like to really focus most of my attention, is in that thick stuff, because so many deer filter through there. And the cool thing is, this year we have the Ranch King that's sitting 12 foot off the ground, and you can see down in that thick stuff a whole lot better. And wouldn't you know it, not far from where David shot his buck, I could see a doe running around out in that thick stuff. So I picked the binoculars up, and immediately I see a big buck coming out behind the cedar tree.
Where is he? Oh, I see. Ooh, I'm shooting him. That's a shooter.
As I focus in on him even better, I notice it's a buck that I had one particular Reconnex video of, and I knew this was a giant buck. Man, it was game on at that point.
If he keeps walking to the right, we might get a shot. There's a hole right there, a really good hole. It's coming right, slowly though. Yep. Oh, he's finna lay down. Just lay down, he just bit it down. Dadgum. Oh, gosh. A few more steps and he'd have been open.
Just like David's buck, my buck lays down right before he presents an opportunity to shoot. I'm just hoping this buck's gonna stand up and give me a clear shot, just like David did with his buck.
This is a giant buck. He's laid up right here in line with what we call the big cedar tree up there on the corner.
So after about an hour of watching this deer, the doe gets up that he was with and starts to move off. And the doe gets about 20 yards from him, and lo and behold, he stands up. So as he stands up, this buck starts shaking the rainwater off of him, and he starts shaking his head, and as he's shaking his head, looks like he's growing. He looks like he's getting bigger and bigger. And he starts to walk away from me, which is actually a good thing, because the further he walks away, the more he gets away from some of those limbs and some of the junk that he's down there with. So,
God, it's a big buck, but he's in that thick stuff. Oh, that's a big son of a gun. Oh my gosh. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
just as soon as that buck hit that opening and turned broadside just enough, I took the shot.
Yes! 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 Oh my goodness! Yes! Oh, what a giant! Oh my gosh! We've been watching this buck for about an hour. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, David, man, for letting me hunt this property, letting me hunt the best stand on the property. You talking nerves. If y'all know me, I get nervous and I get excited. I mean, that's why we deer hunt. And when we first saw him, was able to get up and get on him, and just nervous as all get out, and then couldn't get a shot. Then he buck lays down and I have to watch this sucker, and ain't nothing I can do about it, this giant buck. And then he gets up and then the adrenaline kicks in again. So it's like I've had like 10 shots of adrenaline today, and then they wear off and then you get shot again. Whew, but man, we just persistent, was trying to breathe, calm down, and make a good shot. Thank you, Lord. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 Kentucky. Thank you, Kentucky. Awesome hunt, awesome hunt.
And I was so relieved to see that buck go straight down. Man, the Bagar had done his job and just dumped him right there in his tracks. And I'm telling you, just all of that emotion, you see the big buck, then he lays down and you can't get a shot. He gets up and hoping in that you're gonna get a shot, and when he finally presents itself and you see him go down, you know you've just taken that hammer animal. Man, my emotions just went through the roof. And I'm telling you, I couldn't stay in that Ranch King long. I had to get down and put my hands on him.
Here he is, right here, right here. Look at this big old joker. Oh my goodness. What a buck. Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. What a tank of a deer. Look at those beams. Oh my goodness. That is an awesome buck. Mass. Look how heavy he is right here. Good grief, this time right here, and that's over 12 inches long. Look at that. There is no ground shrinkage on this buck. Oh my goodness, what a deer. 4 years ago, David and I started a completely different management plan on this property, and I know the first buck I killed here was, I guess you'd call a big old management 8-point, and it probably scored in the 120, something like that, but just an old buck. And then the next year I killed a really nice buck, almost 140, 139, 140. I was definitely tickled at him, another 5 or 6 year old buck. And then the year after that, I killed one in the mid 140s, a really cool buck with lots of character. And then this year, I don't know what he's gonna score, but I really don't even care what he's gonna score. But it's just so nice to see all of that hard work pay off, and bucks are just getting a little bigger and a little bigger, and more of them. Oh my gosh, I am just a loss for words at getting to put this big old guy in my hands. Yes, what a great buck.
Just that big frame is exactly what any hunter would want. Just a beautiful, beautiful deer. And you know, your buck was really cool, just how heavy that thing was.
He had some special character of his own, you know, his brow tines, you know, came up and curled out, and just that density and the strength of the look of that rack just makes it a real special 8-point.
It was a very unique and cool looking buck, man. I was proud for you.
No, I was glad to get him.